Most local businesses are losing money on Google Ads. The worst part, they think it's working. Today, I'm opening up a real campaign that's bleeding cash. I'll show you what is broken, then we'll rebuild it into a Google search campaign that drives profit. If you're a business owner or a one-person marketing team, this is for you. I'm gonna show you the exact campaign setup that helped my clients generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit. And if you stick with me to the end, I'll show you a few bonus settings that you should always use when setting up a brand new campaign. Let's get started. When you first log into your Google Ads account, this is the dashboard that you might see. And that's okay, all smart campaigns, because when you first create your Google Ads account, Google onboards you by making you create a smart campaign. I'm gonna show you the problem with creating smart campaigns and relying on them after you create your account. So this is one of my clients. They are a law firm and they wanted to target real estate home closings. They created this smart campaign. And if you take a look at this smart campaign, it's missing a few key performance indicators. It shows us impressions, but it doesn't show us our click-through rate. It shows us our clicks, but it doesn't show us our conversions. It shows us local actions and calls, but really we're looking for form fills and we wanna know what type of calls, and we wanna make sure that they're the right calls that are converting. Even if you click into view performance details, really it doesn't show you a lot of details at all. It shows you how many clicks you got, how many came from Google search, YouTube, Gmail, Maps, but here's something that's very scary. 1,300 plus views are from Google partner websites. Those are terrible sources to get your clicks from. And this is the main reason why we never want to use a smart campaign. Even when you click on local actions, 17 local action visits, local action direction views, local action calls, other local actions, 31. We don't even know what those are. So we are throwing money down the garbage. I mean, we might as well just go over to Google headquarters and donate our money to their bottom line. And if your business relies on calls, take a look at this. When we look at the calls, they're coming from the United States, unknown New Mexico. This law firm operates in the GTA in Canada. Why are they getting calls from the United States? That's because location wasn't set up properly when they were creating their smart campaign. And this is one of the main reasons why I always advise my clients never use smart campaigns, because really it relies a lot on Google's data, Google's AI system to try and make a campaign that works. It's easy to set up, but it's the best way to waste your money. Let's create a real campaign. We're gonna recreate this real estate campaign as a search campaign. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click Create Campaigns. Choose your objective. Realistically, we don't really have to select anything here other than create a campaign without guidance. You can create leads, website traffic, but this doesn't really have an effect on your campaign. It just guides you through a different process of creating the campaign. So we're gonna create a campaign without guidance. We're looking to create a search campaign. You can see your conversion goals are here. These are the ones that I've created. If you don't have any conversion goals, go over to my last video. I'll link it in the description. It shows you how to create your own conversion actions. So we know that we want to get phone call leads and we want submit lead forms or website leads. So go ahead and hit continue. Like I said, we want to make sure we get website visit and phone calls. We don't need to input that information right now. We can later, but I have assets that are already set up for that. I like to name my campaigns based on the objective of the campaign. So in this case, residential closings. This law firm is trying to help people who are closing homes. And then I put multi for multi-city because we're targeting multiple cities. And then I have my initials for Playbook Digital because I created the campaign. Awesome. What do you want to focus on? You can focus on conversions. If you know your conversion value, so how much each conversion means to you, typically for e-commerce websites, you'll use conversion value, or you can go with maximize clicks because you want people to just click on your ads. In this case, this is not a brand new account. This account has conversion data, so we know what's working. So we're gonna go with maximize conversions. If this is a brand new account, there are some experts out there that say go with maximize clicks. Personally, for me, I like to go with maximize campaigns because I have set up my campaigns so well, the structure is so well, the tracking is done so well that when conversions come in, it actually helps Google quickly find out who is my ideal customer and who are my qualified leads that are more likely to convert. And so that's why I like to stick with maximize conversions. Now, I also know that for this law firm, their target cost per action, which is whether it's a phone call or whether it's somebody filling out the form on their website, is usually around $50. So I like to set mine to a target CPA of $50. You might not know exactly what your target CPA is, and that's okay. You can set it to nothing, and that way, once the data starts to roll in and you kind of understand where your ideal CPA is, you can come back and set this up. But for me, because we know it's around $50, that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and click next. Now, the number one thing you want to click off when you get to this point, which is your campaign settings, is your Google Search Partner Networks and your Google Display Networks. Like I mentioned earlier, the main problem with smart campaigns is that Google puts your ads onto all of their networks. And we know, well, I know at least, and Google Ads experts know that the Search Partners Network is just really terrible quality traffic. It's usually publishers or people who own blog sites, and you have no idea what your ads are going to show up on. And even when you do go to your placements and see what your ads are showing up on, it's usually very bad traffic sources with no relevance to what you are, to what your offer is or to what your ads are. And typically when we look at the results of the Google Search Network, they're just very bad. Your Google Display Network, we're not running display ads. We're looking for people who are actively searching on Google with buyer intent keywords who are ready to make a purchase or a decision. And therefore, we don't want our ads showing up on random websites as display ads of people just browsing websites looking for other things. So make sure you always deselect Google Search Partners Network and Google Display Network. Now we're gonna go with our location. Now, this law firm operates out of Mississauga, so we can just add Mississauga. But let's say my client told me we don't want to target certain cities or we don't want our ads spilling over into certain areas. What you can do is you can click Advanced Search. And let's say it's Brampton that they don't want their ads appearing in Brampton. You can click Exclude. And there you see Mississauga is selected and Brampton is excluded on the map here. Let's say you're a service-based business, like a landscaper, and you want to help customers within a 20-kilometer radius or 30-kilometer radius. You could click Radius, enter your business name. So in this case, I'm just going to click Square One, and it's going to create a circle, a 20-mile radius circle around my business. So you can either change that to 40 miles, or 100 miles, or you can even use kilometers since we're in Canada and that's what we use. And let's say I want to be around the Laurier Athletic Center, 100 kilometers, there you see it. So that's another way to do it. But in this case, we're gonna just target Mississauga, we're gonna target Guelph, and we wanna exclude Hamilton. We just don't want our ads. Even though our ads are not going to show up in there, I just want to show you that you can exclude cities where you don't want your ads to show up. So let's go ahead and save. If your clients speak any other languages, you can also add that. We're going to stick with English, and no, this campaign does not have EU political ads. Another thing you can include here are different audience segments. So sometimes I like to add in audience segments just to help Google understand the type of people that we're looking to target. So you can go residential properties, real estate, and because that's people who we're interested in targeting, that's actually a good audience to select. And now we're just doing observation. We're not doing targeting. Observation just pretty much means that Google isn't going to change its bidding strategy or its auction strategy based on this observation. It's just looking at this to see who's interested in real estate or residential properties. You can go to next. Now, AI Max for search campaigns is a really good tool if you're looking to get way more traffic and you're looking to target more broader, and have various tailored ads based on the information that's on your website or based on the information that you upload to Google. But in this case, because this is a relatively new account, we don't have full control over the landing page, and we don't want Google to have control over what it displays based on what it sees in the landing page. We're actually going to create our ads manually. Awesome. So we've gotten to this point. What you can do here is enter in your website. And sometimes Google will be able to scrape your website and suggest assets, copy, images. In this case, it's unable to scrape my client's website. So we're going to create the ads manually. And I suggest that you actually create the ads manually yourself. Awesome. Here is the fun part. Now I like to name my ad groups because typically you'll have other ad groups that contain different ads with different angles. In this case, this particular campaign is a general residential ad targeting all cities. And it's a general ad. It's not, the angle isn't urgency. The angle isn't upload fast. It's just our first ad to really understand what message is resonating with our potential customers. Now here you'll want to take your URL for your landing page and insert it. This is going to give you some suggested keywords. We can also go in here and just add in some services or products that we offer. So we do home closing lawyer service. There we go. And let's get keyword suggestions. Now take a look at these keywords. This is where business owners and solo marketers make their biggest mistakes. This particular campaign is going to be using broad match keywords, and keywords like law firm, lawyer's family, residential lawyer are just way too broad. And we might show up for how to start a law firm, how many people work at a law firm, jobs at law firm, and that's not what we're looking for. That's one of the best ways to waste your money. So we want to come up with keywords that are specific to what our company or to what our offer is, so that when people are searching for our services, we're showing up for people who are ready to buy, not people who are doing research. So I'm looking at these and I'm really not seeing a lot of really good ones. Except for this one, residential real estate lawyer near me. That's a good one. Lawyer's property, we're gonna get rid of that. We're not doing family service. And see, this is why when you put in your website, it kind of just pulls everything that shows up on your website. So I'm actually gonna delete all these because I actually have a list already curated for this particular campaign. And because this is an active client, I'm actually going to hide these keywords because, you know, they're working for my client. And if you're struggling with finding keywords, here's another way to look for keywords. You can click on Tools, Keyword Planner, Discover New Keywords, and then you can type in the type of keywords that you want. So law firm, real estate lawyer. Actually, let's go real estate lawyer and go get results. And it's going to give you a ton of different keywords that you can use in your campaign. Now, typically I would do anywhere from 5 to 10 keywords if I know exactly which keywords are going to be converting. But if I'm experimenting and I'm still trying to figure out exactly which keywords I want to target, then I might use 10 to 15 keywords. But try not to use more than 15 to 20 keywords because then it becomes harder to manage and your ads start to appear for things that are just irrelevant, and you'll have to be in your search term report daily taking out negative keywords, and your budget is going to get wasted. So keep a 5 to 10, maybe 15 keyword list for your keywords. Awesome. Now here's where things get exciting. You're gonna build an ad that your potential customers are gonna see, they're gonna click, and they're gonna interact with your business, and hopefully they're gonna do business with you. So first things first, we want to get our landing page, our final URL into the ad. Next, we can do a display path. So I like to do keywords that kind of relate to what the ad is about. So closing lawyer, go ahead and add in your phone number asset here. If you haven't created one, you can always add in new call to create one. Now for our headlines, I've already pre-selected some headlines that I know are currently working for my client. So here's some interesting ones here. First, we're gonna do real estate lawyer. And if you click on the shift open bracket, so it should give you the curly bracket, you can actually insert your city dynamically. So wherever that person is searching for, their city is gonna pop up. But also make sure to put in default text, like maybe your state or your province, just in case Google doesn't know where this client is coming from because they have privacy settings set up. And that way it still shows a relevant city or a relevant state. So we know we're targeting cities within Ontario. So I'm gonna put real estate lawyer Ontario because that still encompasses where that potential customer might be. Here's another good one. If you get the curly brackets, you can insert the keyword that your potential customer searched on Google to make your ad show up. Best practice, include a default text. So for this one, I'm gonna put real estate closing lawyer, just in case Google doesn't know what that user typed in because they have privacy settings set up. So we're gonna hit apply. And this is really great because if you include the keywords that users search for in your ads, you have a better chance of popping up and a better chance of your ads being clicked. All right, I'm gonna add in a few more that I find really work. As you can see here, I'm using 11 out of the 15 headlines. Now, best practice is to use a limited amount of headlines because if you use all 15, well, guess what? Google has hundreds and thousands of different variations that it can put out there, and it's going to be hard to track which ad copy is actually working. In this case, we know that most of these headlines really do work well together, but we're still continuously optimizing. So these are the ones that I've identified as the best for this law firm, but they might be different for you. All right, we're gonna add in some descriptions, and I have some ones that really work well. Kind of the same strategy, get a fixed quote in minutes, real estate closing lawyers in, insert your city with the state there. Got a couple of more descriptions here. I like to fill up my descriptions. There's only 4 of them, so you might as well fill them out. We're also going to add in images to our ads. And save that. Obviously, put in your business name. Make sure your business logo is there. All right, now site links are one of the best places for you to increase your CTR, but also add in more landing pages and more information for customers to interact with your ad. This is one of the best places to increase your CTR, and here's how. I already have some account level site links set up here, but we're actually gonna set up some new site links for this particular campaign, and I'll show you why these are powerful. So number one site link that we can add here is upload APS for review. And then we're gonna say, get a free recommended check. And I'm just gonna quickly go through these. Then we can do a contact our team. All right, and I'm gonna speed through these so you don't have to watch me do each one of these one by one. Now, Google recommends that you use 6 site links, but in this particular case, this client only has 3 particular landing pages that will help this ad perform better. So just put the ones that you know are gonna help you convert. And as you can see in our ad, we start to see these little pop-ups already showing up. That's one of the best ways, another way that you can use call to actions within your ad and get people to take the action that you want them to take. Now, there are more asset types that we can use. For example, prices. If you're an e-commerce brand, you definitely want to have your prices on your ads because people are comparing prices. They're looking for the best deal, and putting your prices up front on your ads even before they get to your landing page might be the difference between you winning a new customer or them going to your competitors who have their prices available on their ads. You can also add lead forms to your ads, but quick warning, lead forms in your ads typically deliver low quality leads because the barrier to entry is just so low. People can just click on the ad and it automatically fills out their form. I've even had sometimes where clients say, yeah, we're getting people filling out the forms, but they're saying they didn't know that they were the ones that filled it out. So sometimes that happens. You can add this if you want. Typically, I leave it out just because I want the highest quality, self-qualified clients to come to our website or give us a call. You'll also want to add callouts. Callouts are great, again, because it showcases what other services you offer or how they can interact with your business. So you can put on-site appointments, online appointments, free consultations, 24/7 availability, free case review, fixed fees, free APS review, quick turnaround, all things that customers will be happy about when they see those things on your ads. Awesome. And that is it. We have built our ad. Now, one thing you're going to notice here is the ad strength. Right now it says good, but ad strength has no direct impact on the deliverability of your ads or the performance of your ads. This is just a calculation that Google does in the background of all of the different things that are available to you when building an ad. And if you fill them out, then your ad strength goes up. So as you can see, it's suggesting that I include more popular keywords in my headline. But based on our research and based on the performance of our campaigns, we know that these headlines do really well. So we're not going to change a thing. So don't be worried if your ad strength says average or below average, as long as you know that the messaging and the positioning in your ad copy is going to convert, then you're doing the right thing. Let's go ahead and hit save. Now we can review our ad to make sure everything is set up correctly. We see our headlines, our descriptions, our images, site links, our callouts, our call asset, and our structured snippet. So let's go ahead and hit next. Now, when it comes to our budget, here's what I recommend you do. Figure out what your business goals are. If you're looking to add a certain amount of customers, or if you're looking to add a certain amount of revenue, determine what that is and reverse engineer it to determine how much you want to spend every single day. Since I like round numbers, I'm just gonna go with $60. Okay, so now we're gonna click next. All right, so it's checking for any errors. And quick note, I had to change the campaign name to home closing because I had used residential closing before. Google is going to offer some suggestions. In a lot of cases, do not take these suggestions. As it's saying to expand your reach, go with Google search partners or add in display expansion. We do not want to do that. So let's go over our campaign very quickly before we hit publish. We've got our campaign name. We've got our campaign type, which is search. Our goals is to get contacts, calls from ads or calls from websites, phone call leads, calls from ads or websites, and submit lead forms. Awesome. Our bidding strategy is maximize conversions with a target CPA of $50. We're bidding equally for new and existing customers. We want only to be on the Google search network. So if we double click that, it's going to show us that we're only on the Google search network. We're targeting Guelph and Mississauga and we're excluding Hamilton. English doesn't have EU political ads. We're doing no segments. And we have 4 keywords in our one ad. So we can go ahead and click publish campaign. Now I'm not gonna click publish campaign because I already created this campaign and it's working, so no need to create another one. These are a couple bonus settings that you should definitely set up if you wanna get the most out of your campaign. Number 1, we wanna go over to insights and reports, and we wanna go over to when and where ads are showed. And we actually wanna remove tablets. So we're gonna change bid adjustment and we're actually gonna decrease it by 100%. This means that we're not gonna be bidding at all on tablets. And the reason why is typically tablets just don't do well and they end up eating some of your budget. Awesome. So as you can see, our bid adjustment is minus 100%. Now, once you dial in your campaign, you can actually come back and adjust this campaign and increase tablets. But we wanna focus on mobile phones and computers because most of your clients are gonna be coming from mobile phone or computers like desktops. Now, here's another bonus setting for you. Go ahead and click on search terms. After your campaign has been running for a while and you've been getting clicks, you want to click on search terms and go through this every single day. If you're running broad match keywords, your ad is going to be pulling up for related terms to your campaign. And as you can see here for this particular client, we've already started excluding a bunch of different keywords. So after we set up this campaign, I had a quick feedback call with my client. And they told me that they were getting some calls for estate planning. And they used to do estate planning in the past, but right now they're focusing on home closing exclusively. So we actually had to remove keywords like estate planning lawyer. So you click on the word, hit add as negative keyword. You can either put it on a campaign or the ad group. In this case, we're gonna put it on the campaign, and that's gonna exclude your ads from showing up when people search this keyword. So that's one way to add in negative keywords. Another way to add in negative keywords is to go into keywords and click negative keywords. As you can see, I've got hundreds of negative keywords here, but what you can do is go ahead and continue to add in more negative keywords into your campaigns. So here's one, how to, what is, in this case, I'm gonna put tuition, I'm gonna put job, career. These are just some generic keywords that I add at the beginning of a campaign's life cycle because I just know I'm not looking for people who are looking for how to become a lawyer. I'm not looking for people to ask what is a lawyer or what does a closing lawyer do? We want people who know exactly what they're looking to do, which is buy or do business with you. Now that we've hit publish for our campaign and it's been sent off for approval, I want to talk about conversion tracking. Without proper conversion tracking, you're not gonna know which ads are driving business results. So before you spend another dollar, you need clean tracking. In the next video, I'll show you how to set up Google Tag Manager and a dynamic call tracking tool so you can see which keywords and ads are driving results and which ones to pause. Ready to make Google Ads a revenue generating machine? Click this video now.